Hi everyone, I am making this video because everyone keeps asking me, how did you become a 2-star diamond in just 7 months as a Beachbody coach? So let me tell you some tips that helped me along the way. Tip number 1, from the day I started, I knew no matter what, I was going to make this happen. So a lot of things I see new coaches do is they kind of just dip their toes in the water and say, oh, I'll give it a few months and we'll see how it goes. Honestly, I think that's the worst attitude to have, because if I had just given it a few months, I probably would have quit. I always tell coaches, you need to at least give it a minimum of a year, and a year of going hard, everything you have for a full year. For me, even a year wasn't going to be enough. I knew that I was going to do whatever it takes to be successful. So from day one, I was all in. My second tip is I was a sponge. I had no idea what I was doing. I laugh now because, with my coaches, that one of the first things we tell each other is we're just failing forward. I had no idea what I was doing, but that didn't mean that I didn't believe in myself enough to figure it out. I was a sponge. I was constantly looking up things online, YouTube, Coach Online Office. I'm a mom with 3 babies. At the time, I was working full time, and then 2 days a week in the evenings from 5 to 6:30, I was teaching a class at the university. So I didn't have a lot of time. So the little time that I did have, I immersed myself in learning as much as I could. So what does that mean? I woke up earlier. So I got myself up an hour earlier than normal to get my 30-minute workout in, and then to just learn. I was online looking, watching videos, seeing as much as I could. Secondly, podcast. My most favorite thing, my phone. I'm constantly listening to a podcast while I'm putting my makeup on in the morning, while I'm folding laundry, while I was doing my commute to and from work. Constantly had something happening. So much so that, as I'm driving my kids to school, my mom used to laugh and say, your kids are going to know how to become Beachbody coaches because you are constantly listening to it. But I think that's what you have to do. If you're going to go all in, you have to be a sponge and soak up as much information and learning as you possibly can. My third tip is that I knew that I couldn't just get on social media and say, hey, I'm a coach now, join my challenge group, join my team. I think we're in this day and age, we are inundated with a lot of direct sales. I see my news feed constantly with different distributors of this product and that product, and I knew I just didn't want to be that. It just kind of sometimes seems icky, and I knew I didn't want to do that. So I took a different approach, and I said, you know what? I'm going to provide value, and in doing so, I'm going to build trust. So what does that mean? That means I started, if I had a great recipe, shared it. If I found the best lipstick color, I was sharing it. If I found a quote that really inspired me as a mom, I was sharing it. Before I posted on Facebook, I would think, how could this positively affect someone today? So either it's going to be inspiring or motivational or really helpful, or maybe it's just going to make them laugh. Either way, I want people to know when they see me posting on social media that they're going to get something that adds value to their life. And in doing so, it builds trust. So like I said, when I shared a great recipe and people tried it and loved it, then they see when I post a challenge group invite, well, gosh, she already recommended this great product and I loved it then. The products that she's using with Beachbody, I trust her. If she says they're good, I believe it. And so I think that's another tip. You have got to start adding value. If you're not adding value daily in social media, it's going to be really, really hard to get people to, again, want to join your challenge group or join your team. So that would be my next tip. Provide value and build that trust. Fourth tip is I made some non-negotiables for myself, and those were have to hit Success Club, and I will be running a challenge group every single month. Like, no matter what, bottom line, even if I only had 3 people for a challenge group that month, it was happening. If you're on our team, obviously, if you only have 2 or 3 people, it's okay. We'll pair you up with another coach, and we'll get a bigger challenge group experience. But either way, that just has to happen. And so once you start hitting Success Club, you start building momentum in your business, and then you don't want to not hit Success Club. So that's huge. Top coaches talk about hitting Success Club, and you're like, yeah, I need to hit Success Club. But honestly, there's truth to it. It builds momentum in your business, and it really helps you to build a team, because that's where a lot of my coaches come from, is my challenge groups. But you also help because you're seeing you're reaping the rewards in your business when you have that consistency. So that was, again, 2 non-negotiables just had to happen. And then my last tip would be I set the pace. So I was excited from the get-go. I recruited my friends and said, I'm so excited about this. It's going to be the best thing that ever happened. I'm already changing, and I've only been a coach for 2 weeks, and it has made me better in the 2 weeks. Like, you have got to do this. And you know what? Enthusiasm inspires others to want to join you. So you set the pace as a leader. I was like, we're doing it. We're making it happen. And you know what? They kind of fell on board and were like, you're right. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. So then my next goal is I hit diamond. And again, setting the pace, my next 2 coaches were like, absolutely, we're hitting diamond too. If you can do it, I can do it. So really, I think the pace of the pack is dependent upon the leader. So once you create a team, even if it's a team of only 2 or 3 people, set the pace. You're the leader, you set the pace. Okay, so those are my top tips on how to advance your business. I wish you continued success. Have a great day.